Okay, good afternoon, guys. In last lecture, we have seen how uh, buying existing business or how buying existing idea of any business will benefit you or how it will be advantageous. Today, we are going to see franchising. Franchising is nothing but starting a business from uh, scratch can sometimes be overwhelming. So it is existed business which is already there in a market, which is running successfully. You are just taking that business, you are copying whatever standard operating procedures, whatever product they are offering, whatever marketing techniques they are using, everything you are copying and you are pasting in your business. And also at the same time you are using the same brand name as well as trademarks. Okay, so that is franchising. Franchising is a way of distributing product and services. The original business owner grants a license for the use of trademark and trade name for the fee. In return, we give him a fees. The franchisor, a person who is giving you a business, that is who is giving you a franchisee to run a business. He may be offering you a product or maybe he may be offering you your services. And in return, he is taking certain amount, certain charges. So that is nothing but franchisee. The person who buys the franchisee is allowed to use the franchisor business name and operating system to set up the business. Yes, everything starting from A ending to Z. In between, whatever comes, your marketing strategy, your product, your like place, that how much place you want to utilize, then what standard operating procedure you should use, then supplier, then stakeholders, everything they gives you, they share with you, and ultimately your business starts operating immediately. Okay. We understand. The person who buys a franchisee is allowed to use franchisee's business name and operating system to use the franchisee. As a franchisee, you pay the franchisor certain amount, that is a royalty from your franchisee's profit, while availing the services, while using the name, while using the trademark of a franchisor. Whatever profit you are earning, you have to pay certain royalty from your profits to the franchisor. That is the that is his fees. Okay, so certain royalties, as well as while investing, while buying the franchisee, you also have to pay certain different amount. So it's a costlier basically deal. Normally the franchisor would draft a franchisee agreement with you that includes detail about how the franchisee will be run. What are the advantages of owning a franchisee? You don't have to come up with an idea for a new business. You don't have to scratch your head. You don't have to you use any other idea, or you don't have to think basically what to start, when to start, how to start, where to start. Yeah, everything franchisee owner give you: product, services, the location, everything, the branding, the name, the location, everything decided by franchisee owner. To get you get a help with business startup. Then what all equipments are necessary, how much staff is necessary, then what all kind of training is required to operate the franchisee, everything, each and every help you get from the franchisor. You can buy, or you can buy your supplies in a bulk. Whatever required inventory is there, you can buy it in a bulk, because since same business is already there in a market, so customer availing the same business, customer availing the product of the same business are there in a market. So business will happen, sales will certainly happen. So in that scenario, आपको जो भी supplies लगेगा, that you can buy in a bulk. Your business benefits from existing brand name recognition. अगर मार्केट में ऑलरेडी फॉर एग्जांपल डोमिनोज है किसी XYZ एरिया में, and now you are taking franchisee of Domino's, then there are a lot of fans of Domino's, there are certain loyal customers of Domino's. They will automatically will start availing the products like pizza from your store as well. So the brand which is existed in a market, which has already some brand value, that brand value is playing for you, that brand value is giving you a certain benefit. Buying into a successful franchisee can be profitable. Franchisee or a business which is already successfully running in a market is always in a is always a profitable deal. It is always a profitable affair to buy a franchisee. Then there are certain disadvantages of owning a franchisee. Franchises are all run the same way. So you have less flexibility to run the business how you want you to run. For example, again we'll take an example of Domino's. If you are taking a franchisee of Domino's, they have their certain structure. They have everything set, the equipment, what kind of equipment, how much power of equipment you should use. For example, oven. According to them, roller coaster oven is the best for preparing pizzas for the how they like the same oven they are using in all outlets of the Domino's. But if you think that instead of using roller coaster oven, you wanted to add some innovation, you wanted to give wood fire oven, and you wanted to give more flavor or good different taste to the pizza, you cannot do that because franchisee won't allow you to do such thing. This can happen this can sometimes be frustrating if you have to if you have your own ideas on how you want to run a business. You cannot implement the same thing. Generally, the more successful the franchisee is, the more expensive is to buy. Domino's Pizza Hut charges you more than 35 lakhs just to buy their franchisee. And apart from that, the investment and everything, the color combination, their furniture, fixtures, everything will cost you more than like crores. It goes into a crores. So it's a very expensive affair to buy a franchisee which is successfully running in a market. There are ongoing costs such as royalties and advertising. Apart from that, whatever profit you are earning, you have to share certain amount of profit, certain percentage of your profit with the franchisor as a royalty. And again, advertisement cost is will be there as it is. Some franchisor may not provide a lot of support such as training or mentoring. Few franchisee owner, they give you like training, they mentor you, they keep supporting you as and when you require. But few franchisor doesn't provide any support, they don't provide any training, they don't mentor you, they just give you a business. As and when your business starts, then they have nothing to do with you, only you have to give them a royalty. So there is no full-fledged support from their end. This is again a disadvantage. Franchisee agreements are, yes sir, चालू आहे अंडर प्रोसेस आहे. लेक्चर चालू आहे आता माझं 1 वाजेपर्यंत लेक्चर होईल ना सर. आज होऊन जाईल. हो ना, काल स्टार्ट झालेलं आहे एंट्री करायला. आज होऊन जाईल फायनल. Franchisee agreement generally favors the franchisor, so be sure to have your own lawyer review the agreement carefully before signing. Whatever agreement franchisor makes, they are usually taking care of their part, taking care of their side. So all the agreements made by franchisor are usually are favorable to a first only one party, that is franchisor, not the franchisee. So in that case, you should review the agreement with your lawyer and then carefully before you sign the agreement. And the location of the franchisee is discretion of franchisor. Franchisor will decide that at what location you will open the franchisee. You will not decide. So that is again a big disadvantage. There is not a lot of legal protection available for the franchisee. Any like legal if you take any legal aspect, so there is no protection available from the law as well for the protection of franchisee. So you have to consider everything and then you have to see whether franchisee business is right for you or not before entering into a franchisee business. Okay. So the chapter 2 was evaluating new business opportunities over today. Okay. So today we'll start new chapter, that is chapter 3, legal aspects for the small businesses. As we have already seen that every business has a certain legal aspects. They have to fulfill the basic requirement of government, whatever states by government, state law or central law, what is applicable to you, you have to fulfill the criteria and then only you can start your business. For example, just go through the table. If a company has 1 to 9 workers, then what should be your legal aspects? The first thing is that you have to have a shop and establishment act of state government. This act applicable to you. Then Workmen's Compensation Act 1923 is again applicable to you. Then Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 is applicable to you. Then Bonded Labor System Act, that is 1979, is applicable to you. Then Equal Remuneration Act is again applicable to you. The Industrial Dispute Act, Minimum Wages Act, Trade Union Act, and labor laws. All these are the things which you should fulfill. All these are all these laws are applicable to you. So whatever government states under these laws, whatever norms they says under this law, you have to follow those rules for the running of your business. Then second is 10 to 19 workers. A company which has a 10 to 19 worker, they have जो first वाले थे like 1 to 9 workers के लिए जो law थे, rules थे, regulations थे, all these are applicable to you. And added to this, labor laws, the payment of gratuity and act, the Factories Act, the Employment State Insurance Act, Maternity Benefit Act, the Payment of Wages Act, and the labor laws. These are added law. These are added legal aspect which you should fulfill before starting a business. Then the company which has 20 to 49 workers, they have to complete the contract labor law, then the Payment Bonus Act, then the Employee Provident Fund Act. All these are applicable to those companies. Government schemes and benefits. India was recently termed as only truly emerging market in the world at the moment. A part of this growth is fueled by micro, small and medium enterprises of the country, the SME, that is small and medium enterprise business, which that particular sector has contributed over 40% of total GDP of and remain the critical source of employment for the India's growing population. India is a country which is in a developing stage now, and obviously a population of India is a like second largest in the world. First is obviously China, but China has lot of small businesses which they have developed there. There are a lot of micro businesses which are getting operated from the home. But now India is a country now which is emerging, which has a potential, which has a capabilities of becoming or starting a small, like many small businesses or micro businesses. And when government has ruled out this, they have boosted, they have fueled more and more amount into this particular thing, and they are boosting people, they are telling people to start their own small businesses. Recognizing the importance of SME growth in the post demonetization area, the government has started some new business loan scheme and boosted other existing one. जो existing है उनको भी boost किया है, and they have also introduced a new loan schemes in a market to help the small businesses to grow. Here are the top 5 business schemes which are available in India. The first is MSME business loan in 59 minutes. That is micro, small and medium enterprise business loans in a 59 minutes. Perhaps the most talked about business loan scheme right now is MSME business loan in the given for financial assistance and scheme first announced in September 2018. We'll just see the website of this particular thing. Yes, this. As you can see, this is a MSME registration portal designed or started by government. It is from the effect of 1st July 2020. It is actually started in 2018. So yeah, you can see here everything step by step, how to register, then how to prepare document, what all documents are required, then filing MSME SSI application, and then completion process. Or if you want, you can get, just add your details and those people will call you back. So this is how they have started a website, and through this website you can avail a MSME loan in 59 minutes. Generally, this particular loan gets in 18 to 15 days, 15 to 18 days, but the granting decision is given in first 59 minutes only. So that is why this is very famous in the name of MSME 59 minutes loan scheme. Okay, both new and existing business can utilize the scheme for the financial assistance up to 1 crore. 1 crore तक का फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस आपको यहाँ पे मिलता है, whether you have existing business or whether you wanted to start a new business. The actual process takes up to 8 to 10, ये बोल दिया मैंने आपको. In the refinance scheme, wherein 5 authorized public sector bank will grant the funds. The interest rate depending on the nature of your business and credit rating. No information has been given on subsidizing the principal amount or interest subvention. इस स्कीम के अंदर जो प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट में उसमें से आपको कोई सब्सिडी नहीं दी जाती, that 50% amount or 40% amount or 25% amount will be paid by government and remaining amount you have to repay. इस तरह का कुछ स्कीम इसके अंदर मेंशन नहीं है. To apply for the business loan under this scheme, you need to have a GST verification, then income tax verification, bank account statement for the last 6 months, then ownership related documents and KYC details. All these are the required things, required legal aspects which you need to fulfill before getting this loan. Then the next is Mudra loan. Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency, that is Mudra, okay, is an organization established by the government of India to provide business finance to micro businesses unit. The loan under the scheme are given on the pretext of funding and unfunded. Funding the unfunded. There are so many micro businesses, there are so many small businesses which are neglected or maybe due to lack of documentation, lack of the legal aspect, completion of aspect. These people are not entitled to get any loans from the bank. So this particular Mudra loan scheme has been entered. This particular Mudra loan scheme is introduced in a market for funding the unfunded. Whoever wants to start a business or a business which is already started, but they are not entitled to get any funds from the bank. So this scheme will give you fund, and this scheme will boost your business with the help of fund. Since small companies and startups are often left to their own devices for financing their ventures, the government has created the concept of low cost credit to such undertaking. So obviously, as the name says, it has a lower interest for the loan. Mudra loans are also a refinance business loans approved and disbursed through a public sector banks, private sector banks, cooperative societies, small banks, scheduled commercial banks, and rural banks. That comes under the scheme. The loans are generally given to micro or small businesses operating in the manufacturing, trading, and service sector. The Mudra loans are structured as Shishu loans, that is up to 50,000 rupees, then Kishore loan, that is up to 5 lakh rupees, and Taran loan, that is up to 10 lakh rupees. So this is the structure of the scheme loan available in the scheme, that is Shishu loan, Kishore loan, and a Tarun loans. You know what business you are starting, you know what business you want to start. So accordingly, you know how much amount you need to for the business. So accordingly, you can apply for the loans, and government after verifying your project, after verifying the data given by you, you will get a loan from the government. Okay. So remaining part of this particular topic we'll see in a next lecture. Thank you.